Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. With that, let's get on up to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. For the call, we bring in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They, too, come in off the bye, so we should have two teams that are eager to get back at it.
And players are creatures of habit. You can bet they enjoyed the time off, but you know they're also ready to get right back into the swing of things.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall selection back in 05 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Smith. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So, in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credit the tackle to DJ Swearinger. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, take some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The starters defensively now for Jacksonville. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
To throw is Smith. That one complete to Anderson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
Former 4th-round pick out of Duke is Jamison Crowder. Now, he doesn't grab a lot of headlines, but he's been quietly dependable for his first 3 years in the league. Shifty, excellent route runner from the slot position, finds his way open, and catches the football. Yeah, he's dependable. Quarterbacks love to throw to him.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. They go read option with Wilson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll run it here. And not much room to operate as they'll get this up only to about the 41. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On the right side open is Gesicki. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's Smith now on second down. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Sproles. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but When you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to them, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They go play action here on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
One of the things I love about this job is that I get to go to practices before games and watch guys work out. And what throws me every single time I see Richard Sherman, one of the best corners in the league, is just how long he is. I'm not even talking about being 6'5". That's not what I'm saying. The length of his arms, his ability to run with receivers and make plays on the football, even when it looks like there's a chance to fit it in, this guy is something else. And there's no surprise to me that this guy was a receiver before he was a cornerback. And maybe that's what helps him out, too, because he understands how receivers think.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Well, that catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Wilson. And this one's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, normally on a 3rd down play, I'm not a huge proponent of play action. But when you run it as effectively as we've seen them do in this game, yeah, it sets it up pretty well.
Yeah, particularly on this drive, they've been great running the ball. Good setup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jamison Crowder, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And he'll bang that one through. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. On first down, Smith. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. A shotgun snap for Smith. Left side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a gain of 4. And it'll be 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Smith. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Smith again. Goes underneath for Sproles. Call it a 3-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again is Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down in midfield. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This offense is a group ranked 30th on the ground, and those are the kinds of runs that have earned them that spot.
Yeah, dubious distinction, right? Because no one wants to be in that position, and no matter what your style of play, you want to be known as a team that can run the ball when you need to.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Now Smith. Operating from the gun. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
There's Wilson to throw. It's complete to Lockett. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
They talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
It's brought in left side by Tate. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep. Wiley.
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that's caught inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield, does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. He felt he can win every battle.
And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Rob Gronkowski, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Gano's kick is right through. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our... And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Around the NFL, they're in the second quarter at Lambeau. The Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Now Wilson, running left on the option. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Corey Legion in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
But that's a down and distance coach is always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Yeah, he's got it! And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Corey Grant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
Now it's Sproles. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Smith on 3rd down. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cut in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Ahmad Brooks able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And he's got Lockett. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep blow with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Second and 10 now. Wilson. It's caught. Rocket. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a third and 12. Again, Wilson steps away to his left, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And now it's second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
On second and 10, Smith. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And Tate's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. Comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On second down, Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at a quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, There's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away, but oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. To the air again, Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Tate. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. And once again, they go with Sproles. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Smith. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Malcolm Mitchell, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Again, they run with Edmonds. Oh, and now he bowls him over. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They run with Edmonds. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Right there in coverage, the veteran Cam Chancellor.
It's always a good play when you're able to bat a ball away or down, because if you actually tip it in the air, now the offense is getting a second shot at catching the football, or another receiver may come along and grab it out of the air and turn it into a big play. So if you make a play on the ball, make sure it's knocked away or down. Otherwise, there could be some jeopardy.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll run it with Sproles. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Time for a break. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Here's Wilson. On the right side open is Gesicki. And it's a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it? This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a tee for him. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away. Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Sproles. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This for the lead in the final stages. And Bailey able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Back to throw. Flush to his, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Al Woods in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. to throw. It's complete to Lockett. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Colts are going to win the football game. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Indianapolis, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tennessee Titans come to town. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.